What up, bros? Welcome back to Throwin Hands. Sorry for the lack of episode last week. Something popped up. Well, it was on the schedule. I just forgot to tell my boy. But the card was terrible. So, not much to talk about. We'll talk about Derek Lewis at the end. But right now, we are going to preview UFC 284, Makhachev versus Volkanovski. Jarrett, how you doing, man?
Doing really good. Ready for a weekend down under, man. It's a
Yes.
couple good fights to look forward to, and then the main event, man.
Yeah.
This is something that I've been looking forward to for a couple months. So
Yeah, it's good. It's gonna be awesome. Um, we're not going to preview these fights, but I'm just going to give you guys a couple fights to look out for. Basically, Dana White. If you don't know now, you knowing. But Tyson Pedro Modestas Bukauskas, he's coming back after he won the Cage Warriors light heavyweight title. He about a year and a half ago, he got all of his knees busted by Khalil Roundtree. I think got his lead leg busted by Khalil Roundtree, and his knee was shredded. Jamie Malarkey versus Francisco Prado. Good fight there. In the lightweight division. Volk sparked Malarkey on the local scene. Zubair Tukagov, got to watch out for, and Loma Lukbunmi, to look out for with strawweight. So here we go. Opening up the main card is Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menafield. Jimmy Crute's back, baby. He got absolutely dogged by Jamal Hill. I don't remember when that fight was. I think it was about a year and a half ago. And then no, just a little over a year ago. And then Alonzo Menafield, just a big dude who can crack.
yep.
And he's been tearing it up as of late, looking to get into the rankings with a win over Jimmy Crute. So, I mean, I think this is a good comeback fight for Jimmy Crute, who likes to wrestle a lot. But he has to time his shots well because Menafield can crack. What do you think, man?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is stylistically a great matchup. Crute, a guy who was able to submit Paul Craig, so that just gives you a little bit of a detail on how sound his ground game is. And then Menafield, a guy who can, like you said, he's going to stand and bang. There's a lot of power. Really good striker, and that's going to be a problem for Jimmy Crute. I mean, we saw how he fared against the striking of Jamal Hill. Now, I'm not saying by any reason Alonzo Menafield is Jamal Hill by any means, but that style can give Jimmy a lot of fits. So I'm gonna have to go with KO from Menafield, even though I do think Jimmy Crute's the better fighter. I just have I go with my gut a lot in my picks, and my gut saying Menafield is gonna catch him and put him out, put him on the canvas. But Jimmy Crute, man, if he wants to win this fight, get it done, he's gonna have to wrestle, like you said, time his shots, wrestle smart, get to the ground, and get it over with.
Outside of your prediction, I couldn't agree more. I think Jimmy will get it to the ground. I think if this goes into late second or third round, it's Jimmy Crute's game. Menafield's a big dude. And if you look at the picture, he doesn't have a lot of body fat on him, so he can't get into those fat reserves for some energy. Neither does Crute, but he also carries a ton of muscle, and that just weighs on that's just hard. So I'm going Jimmy Crute by submission, but who knows?
Yeah.
I wanted to mention this. We should be getting Whitaker and Paulo Costa on this card. Very disappointing. But one thing that's not disappointing is Paulo Costa's Twitter. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. It's very funny. But if you have thin skin, it's not for you. I've even gone like, whoa, a couple times. But when it is funny, it's very funny. But Justin Tafa versus Parker Porter. Justin Tafa, man. I don't know what to think about this fight. Parker Porter, fun fact, he lost. John Jones is one of John Jones' first opponents, Parker Porter. But I mean, Parker Porter has looked good as of late. Justin Tafa, I'm not sure about him in this fight. I'm gonna go Parker Porter by knockout. What do you have?
I'm gonna say this is back-to-back fights. We're going against each other. I think that's gonna be a trend for this card, honestly. But I don't know. I agree. Like you, it's a heavyweight. Anything can happen. Porter's more of like a workman, in your face, move move forward boxer. Um, Whereas Tafa, man, I feel like he's got a lot of versatile striking game. You know, he's coming off that head kick win over Hunsucker in his last fight, which was really, really sick. That was a nice highlight. So I'm gonna go Tafa. I like the hometown guy in this one.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. All righty. Jack Della Maddalena versus Randy Brown. Jack Della Maddalena is really good. I mean, he. I'm not saying he's just mowing through dudes, but I
Hey,
mean, well, he is mowing through dudes. His fight, every fight has gone out of the first round.
yeah,
Um, he is so good everywhere. I don't know how what Randy Brown's going to do with him. This is such a step up for Randy Brown. I mean, Randy Brown is a solid fighter, but Jack Della Maddalena is so good.
yeah. I mean, Brown's what some of his big losses. You know, Luque, Nico Price, Bilal Muhammad. You know, he's 4-1 in his last five, has a little bit of momentum coming off of 4-fight win streak. But Madalena, man, it's just I don't see a way where he doesn't get out of this with a win. Like you said, he hasn't lost since 2016. Um, he's a power hitter. He's a killer, man. Hometown kid. Well, born in Perth. So yeah, I got Jack in this one by a lot.
Yeah, I think Maddalena will do with him in the second round. Might be a little tougher because
Mm,
Randy Brown is a dog.
yeah.
If you look in next rays, you might find a little dog in there, but I mean he's beaten Gooden, he's beaten Chaos Williams, he's beaten Francisco Trinado. He has solid wins.
Yeah.
Um, but
And the
this is
bosses are
just such
respectable.
yeah. I mean he subbed Cowboy Oliveira, but let's just I'm this will definitely be Madalena's toughest test, and that's why I think it'll go to the second round. But Jack Della Maddalena just is that guy, I think. So
Yep.
all right, man. I want to talk about this for a second. Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett. I don't know. Maybe you'll disagree with me. I don't know if I've ever been so disinterested in an interim title fight in my life.
Oh, dude, I completely agree with you. I'm looking at it and it's just like
It's a good fight.
it's a good matchup, but not for an interim title, man. Like, come on, I just don't. I'm not into it. I don't like it being on this card, honestly. For some reason, I just don't like it being with uh this main event, man. Like, it just doesn't go together. I'm not really. It doesn't really interest me, man, at all.
Yeah,
And honestly, I think it's pretty clear cut who I think's gonna win. I think it's gonna be a good fight, but I think it's gonna be a UD. You know, I think it's gonna be a unanimous decision, honestly. Um, but I guess what they were saying, like they're like some of the pros for it is like they're saying like it doesn't really hold anyone up, like it keeps the flow of the division going, and I just don't understand, man. Like, are they
yeah.
gonna?
Why not? Why
What?
not just make it a number one contender fight? Why does that have to be for a belt?
Yeah, I don't understand, man. I
I,
don't get it either, but
like, what I'm trying to think. I was more, even though the interim title fight was not necessary, I was far more interested in Gon versus Lewis than this
yeah,
title fight. I don't know what it is. I'm just, ugh.
I mean,
It's not even a bad fight.
even in this division, where I think me and you both are way more excited about Allen versus Holloway
Yes.
than this. Like, come on, you got better matchups that you could have put on this card, but I get guys need their rest. But at the same time, it's like I'm just not really interested. I think Yair Rodriguez gets it done though. I think he's a dog. I think he's gonna get it done by a UD.
I,
Honestly, I think he controls it.
I can't disagree with you. I think it'll be either UD or head kick sometime in the middle to late rounds. If Josh Emmett wants any chance of winning this fight, he's got to spark him like quickly.
Yeah.
Because if you did you watch the Cater Emmett fight?
I heard about it. I read up on it before this, and I heard that it was very controversial. And
Yeah, I felt Cater won that fight, man. But yeah,
he's got a 5-fight win streak. That was his last one, right? By split. And I mean, he hasn't finished an opponent in 3 fights. Like he doesn't necessarily have that pop that I think would make this a more exciting slash dangerous fight. Where I think Yair does. I
Yeah,
just
I mean,
man,
Bektic and Johnson were his last finishes. Emmett versus Burgos is one of
yeah,
the best fights I've ever seen. That was amazing. Emmett Ige, then Cater versus Emmett. I mean, em- here's what I'll say about Emmett. He has that power that makes you go, "Oh my gosh," because I remember it was like within 2 minutes against Ige, he just put him down with like a not even a hard shot. So, yeah, I'll go. You and I both agree. Yeah, you're by UD. But this is the fight.
this is
This
the
is the
one.
fight.
Yep.
Oh, as Joey Diaz would say, that's the seed. Um, but Islam Makhachev versus Alexander the Great Volkanovski. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if you agree with me on this, but this is the most excited, pumped about a fight I've been in a while.
I was gonna say,
Outside of Jones versus Gon.
yeah, absolutely, man. This is a dream matchup that you know Volk made it happen quick. Islam agreed, got it announced really quick. Really looking forward to this, man. We've been talking about it on episodes for weeks now, and it's finally here. Islam, the favorite. Honestly, as we get closer, if you would have asked me a month ago, I would have told you Islam by ragdoll slash half murder. Now as we get closer, my confidence is kind of depleting. I don't like what he's saying about how, oh, I'm more than a grappler. I'm gonna stand and bang. I'm gonna show my striking. No, dude, don't. On behalf of your fans, which I'm not saying I'm like a Islam super fan or even a necessarily fan. I honestly like Volk more than Islam, but dude, don't stand and bang. Like, do your stuff. Do your stuff. Like, get a win. Do what I think a lot of people think is how he's gonna win, and get it done. If he tries to stand and bang, we said it a couple episodes ago, it's not gonna end well for him.
No.
Volk is a way better striker than him. And like what's even scary is like, yes, I think a lot of people put that Charles match. See, I don't know how to put this. I don't know how to put this without sounding dumb, but they put a little bit more weight behind it than what I think there actually was. Like, yes, he put him down from his feet. Yes, he knocked him down from his feet, but he knocked him down off of a very weird move from Oliveira. So I don't think necessarily Islam has the striking whatsoever to hang with Volk. I think Volk's going to be um, a lot faster than what Islam is on his feet. But I do have to agree with most people that if it goes down to the canvas, it might not get back up because I think that could be a problem for Alex. You did see him fight out of a couple submissions versus Ortega. The dude's tough as hell. I mean, obviously he's tough as hell. He's Alexander Volkanovski, but I think Islam is a big step up in the grappling category, and uh, I'm still gonna go with Islam. That's my pick going into the fight.
Yeah, I see. Here's my thing. I think maybe I could speak to the reason your confidence is lowered a bit because if you hear this dude talk, man,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. He oozes with this confidence. Oh, he's like, yeah, I've been small my whole life. XYZ. He's mentioned a couple other things. It's like you can't bet against him. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. And
yeah,
you know, Makhachev said in an interview with DC, they don't have wrestling in Australia. And Volk was like, I was the national Greco champ. What are you talking about?
yeah,
And that's what I think is going to play into his favor a lot. If Islam wants to take him down, he's going to have to shoot for legs and not do upper body locks because it,
yeah,
it's going to be hard. It's hard to go double at. I've never wrestled, but against shorter guys,
yeah, yeah. But I think what separates that from like a normal wrestler is those European guys have never wrestled folk style or American style. So American style, if you don't wrestle in the off season in freestyle and Greco tournaments, you rarely go upper body unless you're an upper weight. Where these international guys are bred since little kids to wrestle at an international level, which incorporates upper body. Also, Sambo, you saw him out of the clinch, but I do agree with you. I think the clinch is going to be a very weird position for Islam that he may not be ready for. You know, it's not a huge height advantage, but it's still a 4-inch height advantage. You know, it could definitely be some weird situations that come out of it. You know.
Yeah. Um, it's crazy how Volk has the reach advantage here.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
That's wild, man. It's just with Volk, I'm just so
yeah,
I can't bet against I can't bet against him. I don't
yeah.
know what it is.
And the other thing is like people were talking about like the height. Isn't Islam the same height as Max Holloway?
He's shorter than
Like,
Holloway.
yeah, or by a little bit though, right? Like
By like
it's
an inch,
he's
yeah.
so like Alex has fought someone taller than Islam, but I don't know. I don't know. Still gonna go Islam, but like I said, confidence is depleting, but we'll see this weekend. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I heard that was someone
Oh,
really
wow.
revved their car there.
1 second.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't bet against Volk, man. I really can't.
Oh,
I have to go. I have to go Alexander Volkanovski. I don't. It's gonna be a decision. But I never talked about this with the striking. Volk is always one step ahead.
mhm,
Always. He if you fire, he's gonna fire, and he
mhm.
might not let you fire if he fires first. He's never gonna stop firing,
Yeah.
and he's gonna stick out that jab, pepper him with some shots. I do think Volk gets the dub by decision. But if Makhachev wins, I can't be surprised.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't know, bro. The shame of this card is we're supposed to get Whitaker and Costa.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I agree with you. That would have definitely brought my excitement for this weekend up even more than what it is. I mean, I'm so excited for this card, but it's literally just because of the main event, which is
Yes.
kind of disappointing, which is how it was last week too. And
Yeah.
look how last week turned out. So it gets you kind of worried when you're only excited for the main event. But yep, it's
Yeah.
main event
Um.
still. So
Yeah. What just stinks now is that we won't get any Paulo Costa memes rolling up to the main event. I think that's the real loss we're taking with him. And like I said, guys, if you haven't seen Paulo Costa's Twitter, I highly recommend you go check it out. I will give him this though; he has dampered down on the crazy stuff on the Twitter a little bit. I gotta give him that. He has said some very controversial things. I'm sure you can agree with me on there. It was bad at one point, and I think his manager told him, "You can't do this, Paulo," and it's for the better.
yeah, yeah,
But that shows anybody can change as a person, in my opinion.
yeah. Or at
Never
least,
too late to change, guys. We're doing some motivational stuff here on Throwin Hands today.
or
Never
at least
too late
get
to change.
silenced a little bit, but
What'd you
change.
say?
I said, or at least get silenced a little bit. But we'll
Yeah,
we'll we'll stick with
yeah, yeah. If you want a good laugh, Paulo Costa's Twitter is the place. And he has gotten better with the homophobic things he has said. But you know what? We got to talk about Derek Lewis real quick. He got hornswoggled in the main event and last week's card. And someone made the point in a Twitter comment. I forget who it was, but shout out to this dude. He said, it's not that Derek Lewis is washed. It's just that the heavyweight division is caught up to people who hit really hard and can get away with it and not do much else.
yeah. Very true. Very true. I can't stand relating everything to wrestling, but it's what I'm good at. You're seeing the same thing in the UFC now than the same thing that's happened to college wrestling. College wrestling has moved away from these big, burly throwers, upper body guys, and now they're 240, 250 lineman looking men out on a wrestling mat who can now shoot a double leg like that instead of hunkering over and just hoping to finish a shot. Now it's just this new athletic brand of these guys who are at the bigger guys who are losing a little bit to make light heavyweight or in wrestling, um, 197 in college, but 205, 220 in high school, whatever it is. Um, we're seeing these guys who start to like bulk up and become these athletic heavyweights. And I gotta completely agree with that. It's happening in the UFC. All the top guys now aren't just primarily stand and bang guys. And I mean, I like that. I'm a wrestling fan. I don't mind a little bit of wrestling in the UFC, that's for sure.
Yeah. Another thing, congrats to Fedor on an illustrious career, but bro, he was 8 steps behind that whole fight.
Yeah.
It was really
Yeah.
bad.
I was gonna say to watch it, but I heard it. I mean, I saw on the result whenever it was. Well, it was inside the first round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yes.
He got knocked down by Bader and then just happened.
Yeah.
Um,
We didn't get to. I didn't get to watch this weekend. The Prime Hydration, uh, the Prime Hydration corners. Did they? Did
I don't
visit
know.
that?
I'll go on to ESPN Plus and look that up.
I was going to say I didn't. That was another thing. I tried to rewatch some of the fights, or not rewatch, watch some of the fights for this. Dude, my ESPN like logged me out. Ridiculous. Off topic, but
Ridiculous. Horrible.
like horrible. Shame on you, ESPN. Like, come on. I need to watch stuff. Don't be locking me out. It's still the same person.
Oh, Game Bred Boxing. Jorge Masvidal announced this on the MMA Hour today. We have some banger matchups in boxing. Paul Daly is going to fight an opponent to be determined. Pearl Gonzalez versus Gina Mazzani, rather. I apologize for mispronouncing your name. Jacare is going to box Vitor Belfort. That's not going to go well. That's not going to go well. Jeremy Stevens versus Jose Aldo in a 6-round box. That will be fun.
That'll be cool.
And Anthony Pettis versus Roy Jones Jr. in an 8-round main event boxing match.
That's gonna be.
Ooh, Pettis might get pieced up.
Yeah.
I know Roy Jones Jr. is like, 52, 53, but bro, why would you do that?
Yeah.
You're not. Pettis wasn't even a great boxer in MMA. He's more of a kickboxer. Oh man, I'm not. That might get bad, bro. Shoot, what else was I got? There's something else I just thought of. Oh well, we didn't talk about it. Well, we kind of alluded to it, but Prime is now the official hydration drink of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Dude, look, I'm not a big fan of Logan Paul. I'm more of a KSI fan. I watched him when I was like 12.
Yeah.
Ugh, that makes me feel old. But Logan Paul has made the most epic comeback out of anybody ever. With what that dude did, one of the worst things you could do to post on the internet ever.
Yeah.
And I'm not really gonna mention it here.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was bad, bro. That was horrible. I think you could agree. That's one of the most legendary comebacks.
Yeah.
Like you got. I know if you don't like him, I'm not a big fan of him, but if you got to at least give him some credit for putting himself in the position he is today.
I like him a lot, brother. So
yeah,
a lot more than Jake, but
yeah, it's crazy how Logan Paul, through all the that terrible thing that he did, is still more tolerable than Jake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and like we mentioned earlier, people can change, man. People can change. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Never too late to change, guys.
Yeah. We didn't get to touch on the Ultimate Fighter.
Oh yes, yes. You go ahead. Say what happened.
So there was talks. McGregor announced first that he was going to be a coach, and then there were a couple people who were speculating thinking Masvidal, thinking Ferguson. Me and you both texted about Tony saying that would be great to see him coach, but please don't let him fight. And then the UFC pulled it off and is giving us Iron Mike Chandler versus Conor McGregor after the Ultimate Fighter this season. So really looking forward to that. Excited to see those two interact. I think that's going to be some cool post or pre-fight buildup for that. But you want to do an early prediction?
Let's do a little early prediction. Why
Early
not?
prediction for it?
You go.
I got Michael Chandler by knockout.
I think Connor sparks him.
Really?
Look, Connor is too precise. Michael Chandler's going to throw haymakers, try to send him to the shadow realm in the first round. And once that doesn't happen, what's he going to do?
Yeah.
Connor has great takedown defense.
Yeah.
Khabib had a hard time taking him down. It could get bad, I think. Like if Connor throws straight shots, Michael Chandler throws haymakers.
Yeah.
I don't think Michael Chandler's ever. I don't think I've ever seen him throw a clean 1-2 in his career. Just I've never seen that from him.
Yeah, I get that. I think I'm really looking forward to it though.
I am.
If they stand and bang like that, I will thoroughly enjoy that. So
personally, I wish it was Tony Ferguson instead of Michael Chandler. I just want to hear Tony go, "Come on, brother." Let's check up some MMA news. Maybe there's something I missed, but Dana White called Emelianenko not one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
should have retired a few years ago.
Talked about that. I was like,
he should have retired a few years ago. I think you and I can both agree on that.
Yeah.
He is arguably the best heavyweight of all time, and some people will say it's inarguable, and you can't deny that. Chris Weidman targets a summer return. If you don't know, that was horrible. One of the worst injuries in UFC history. What happened to Anderson Silva happened to him against Uriah Hall. I remember screaming really loudly when that happened because it was pretty gross. This is what we need to talk about. The UFC has listened to the people, guys. Chito Vera versus Corey Sandhagen has been moved to San Antonio. Thank the Lord. This should have happened. This should have happened a little quicker, but this is what the people needed. This is what the people wanted. This needed to be in front of an arena. There's no question.
Yep.
Did you see the meme? I don't know whom I sent it to, but it was like a picture of Sandhagen after he got choked out by Aljamain, and someone said in the third round after Sandhagen outstrikes Chito 95-23. Because that's what happens with him.
Yeah.
Someone made an interesting point. But for some reason, and I kind of agree with this person, I think Bobby Knuckles versus Hamzat might be the next fight.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm crazy saying that.
No, it's not crazy. It's just if they go there. I don't know. I'm really hoping and praying for Bobby, but
yeah, I'm praying for Bobby Knuckles too.
Yeah.
I love Bobby Knuckles. UFC needed to just give Paulo Costa a decent contract, 150 a fight. I hope they're working that out right now. But man, apparently Paulo said he got paid like $70K for fighting Adesanya, which I hope isn't true. That'd be insane if he only got paid that much. But honestly, give Paulo whatever he wants. He's so fun to watch. Give him whatever he wants. But anyway, I think this is a good place to wrap it up. Jarrett, you got anything else?
No, I'm good. Right. Great episode. Dang.
Yeah, great episode. So we'll be back sometime soon. I got no guarantees. We'll definitely be back to review this. There's no question. Maybe we'll be back for them. No guarantees. Shout out to the fighters, man. They give us this. Without them, this podcast wouldn't be here. But anyway, That'll do it for us. Peace out, guys.